So with the odds definitely not in Asta's favour, this fight was going to be very heavily up to him, but then even as well with his teammate as well, which I felt like got more of an actual shining of light in this chapter than the actual main character Asta did. So like going in straight away and all that, like no, cutting the bullshit and all that with 114, I'm not being gonna lie to you guys and all that. When I was like, after like 113, and then especially as well with this one where I was kind of thinking where I was going to be going and all that, I wasn't looking too much forward to this one because I felt like kind of wondering, it's like, oh no, like and all that, they're going to kind of maybe drag this out a little bit, maybe Zach's like not really going to do anything until the very end of the chapter. And one thing I noticed as well, like with this chapter, is that not only did the slow pacing get to me, and this is the one thing I think I never really mentioned at all on the channel, because I feel like it's something to even take away, but I felt like even as well with the manga and all that on a weekly basis and all that, I felt like art-wise as well, like, I felt like some of the, like, not just like some of the panels, but I felt like quite a few of them were kind of very lackluster. I know these are like all minuscule things, like, well, don't you like, you know, like this chapter and all that, like, you know, all chapter, like Panda, like, what the fuck's going on? Like, there was some good moments on that, and all that really had to stem with, like, Mimosa in this chapter, where we got to see her, like, paralyzing, it's like, using, like, you know, actual attack powers, and then also sort of defense, and there was a kind of thing where it's like, look, we can drag this crystal around with us, let's just push on, because we can't just leave this shit alone. I thought she was going to stay alone defense and Asta going in, and it's like, we are, but Mimosa's holding her own as well, it isn't just Asta, and I appreciate it. The weirdest part is that, like, you know, like, Noelle and all them, they're just watching this, so it's just like, just look at this stupid shit happening over here with Asta. I don't know. I feel like, if anything and all that, and like, as well, I don't, like, normally like to talk negative in chapters, unless, like, a lot of the time they're well-deserved, or it's like, there's normally a counter-argument to it, where it's like, this fucking sucked, this could be improved, and all that, and I feel like, it's not like this chapter sucked, I feel like it was more just disappointing, and it's just like a little bit lackluster for like another week and all that, and that's a shame and all that, because we're in a brand new arc, and I was like, I wanted to see a little bit more and all that, and the only thing that we get kind of see in this chapter is that we saw a tiny bit of Mimosa's power, and I feel like we could have had a lot more going on in this chapter. I think we could have had more chance to expand like some of the other knight captains and all that, and it was kind of like, oh no, Asta got trapped and all that, like in this giant spell, like trapping you know, I wonder what's gonna happen, like that. It's like all the attacks come around, like of course Jax or someone's going to interrupt this as they're like being surrounded. I don't know, it's just, that was something around it, like, and that, it's a shame because I love Clover, I really do, and it's just like, I don't know, it just was generally this one chapter this week where I was like, really didn't feel it at all. It really just wasn't up there. And like when you were seeing like the other knights as well, with like the whole like peacock guy, like the eagle, and also as well with the crimson lion, they're all teaming up, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna use this giant ass fucking like ballista just firing it out, and that's all really they did, with the exception of the planet, like, you know, like with the whole like little trap that they had at the end, and like with adding into the fact that they tried to split up and like use this, like, okay, we gotta hide the crystal, we gotta use this right now, like one higher in the rocks, the other one's gonna hide in the thigh, and Asta fell right into their plans immediately, and I felt like you could have, like, maybe, you know, could have done it a little bit easier if you just used anti-magic, but then I guess he wanted to use the fact that he's like, what happens in that time and all that if I fuck up, like with it, using his demon form, is like, well, what happened if I fucked up, and just going into it. So, other than that and all that, I felt like there wasn't too much to talk about in the chapter. I felt like I think honestly for me and all that, like, it was a combination of pacing, and I felt like for waiting for something like a week and all that, like, it just didn't have so much going for it, whereas, like, I felt like a lot of it was, like, kind of like either it was not very well paced, and not to mention as well, I didn't think there was too many exciting moments, which is one of the things I love about Clover and all that, is like, it only has some really exciting moments or hilarious moments, and I feel like not too much and all that, and I feel like all the stuff I personally want to see, like, a little bit more about Zach, a little bit more about some of the other characters, I felt like, kind of like, if anything stood out, it felt like half a chapter, or if, like, I'm putting into mind as well is like, if this was ever like in an animated form, if they ever get to this far in the anime, which I don't think they probably will and all that, unless they ever do like a second season, but then again, we're focused on the first one at first, I felt like this could just easily be done in a few minutes, like maybe like 2 minutes or something like that. It just didn't, it felt like it was just very short amount of material. I don't hate that, and I'm sorry, I know like, a lot of people are going to say fuck you, Banner, for saying that and all that, but I wanted to be honest for once and all that. Like, I really wanted to be like, saying like, just giving you my honest opinion on this like chapter, and like that, it doesn't take away that I generally enjoy the series, but it's like, I feel like every now and then and all that, like, it's like, you know, you have those chapters, and I was just like, it was like last this week, and that's just generally how I feel. So if anything, it wasn't bad, but then again, I don't think it was either good anyway, so I think it was just middle of the road. I thought it was like an average just chapter, and it was nothing to scream home about. I like Jeremy on there, so what's going to happen next week? Maybe Zach's going to get anything on that, like, or someone else trying to involve. I feel like he's probably going to try some stuff and all that, and he's like, I don't want this to end yet, and all that. I want to have a little bit of fun before all this shit happens. Or whether or not we'll see someone else intervene for the most part and all that, or like Asa uses his demon form. We'll have to wait and all that. But yeah, no, Jeremy, it's going to be a quick one this week and all that, because yeah, I just wanted to be honest and all that to you guys and all that. But that is all for me, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I will speak to you guys though next time.